then I choose you.
Be cool, baby, okay?
Hey, bitch, come here. Got your motherfucking man, come here.
Mr. Pretty Tony, I mean, you know the rules of the game. I mean, your bitch just chose me. Now we can settle this like you got some class, so we can get into some gangster shit.
Fuck being on some chill shit. We go 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Hey yo, what up? It's Kells at KMGZ on Blue Sky. I'm back. Thanks for asking. Episode 360. I told y'all I would take a little break and then figure out how to retool this, and I think I have. And so, I mean, I think I have. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But mainly the retool is going to be that I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about what I feel like talking about. It ain't always gonna be politics. And it ain't always. I mean, I know like this hellscape we live in, but I mean, it's been a decade now, and ain't nobody learned a fucking thing. So I can't worry about it no more. So let's get started. Let's just get the big thing out the way. The Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl the second time in 4 years. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I think each year, including last year when we collapsed, I think Eagles fans, whatever. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about Eagles fans, but I'm of the opinion that we are the most real lit. Yeah, we all that people say obnoxious, crazy. We was calling for Nick Sirianni here. We all that. All that, and I had no problem owning it. That's part of being an Eagles fan. Like, nigga, you lost 2 games for the reason why we were calling for Sirianni's head, though, is because the Eagles are the best team in football. Anybody that's been watching football this year, I'm not knocking the Chiefs. I mean, they the 2-time Super Bowl champions. I'm not knocking nobody else's team. I was not worried about the Lions because I've been telling y'all the Lions is frauds all year. Wasn't worried about the Niners. The Niners is frauds too. The Vikings, the Ravens, none of them teams. If that's one of your teams, I'm sorry. But if I watch playoff after playoff after playoff, y'all doing the same thing, to me, y'all frauds. Okay? San Francisco 49ers is a bitch ass organization to me. We ran through them at 3 of their quarterbacks on our way to our last Super Bowl, which but for a questionable pass interference call, we would have won. They went to the Super Bowl. They told us that, we won the best team. If they had won, they would have went. They went and lost. And here we go right back and they suck. Y'all y'all continue to disrespect Jalen Hurts and call him not an elite quarterback, which is crazy to me because he's doing everything that Pat Mahomes is doing. He's doing everything that Josh Allen is doing, except he won. He's doing everything that Lamar Jackson is doing, except he won. He's doing like it's this current sports climate that we're in. I hate it. I've always hated it. Like I said, I was pretty good at sports. I'm not gonna say or act like I'm a retired pro athlete and all of that. I maybe could have been. I was a little bit ahead of my time. Had I been coming out of college and high school now, for sure. Well, I don't know, cause now these guards is like 6 foot. Me back in the day, Dawn Staley day, you could be 5'5", 5'6", 5'3", if you had handles. Now I don't know. So, but anyway, the thing why I often say I don't like sports commentary is because I don't think anybody knows what the fuck they're talking about. I think it's a bunch of dudes who are unathletic, never made no teams, never could make no teams, and they do their little spreadsheets and their little fantasy whatever, and they think that they're fucking Howie Roseman, and I think nobody knows what they're talking about, and it's all stats and this and that, and Jalen is not elite and Jalen said it himself. He was like, and in this new age of like athletics where everything is about stats, it's not about winning, it's about stats. I think that's bullshit. I don't care if you don't throw for no yards. If we win the fucking Super Bowl, I don't give a shit. It's about W's and wins and losses. I don't give a fuck about these quarterback ratings. It don't mean shit. I mean, it does mean shit because when the quarterback plays a terrible game, then, we probably don't do well. Jalen's had a few bad games, but we've still managed to pull out wins. The 2 we lost, the first one it would drop passes. The second he wasn't it. I think Jalen Hurts is an amazing quarterback. I think he does what needs to be done for the game. If he doesn't need to throw for 250 yards for us to win because we are playing against a team that can't stop the run, or he doesn't need to or he runs for, all our touchdowns because, hey, this team can't stop the run. That's what he does. And all this nonsense about he can't throw from the pocket. That's what I mean by people they just talk, but don't know what the fuck they talking about. There's no way you can watch an Eagles game since Jalen Hurts has started and say he can't throw from the pocket. The motherfucker puts the ball where it needs to be. This ain't Donovan McNabb where he can't throw accurately beyond 10 yards, throwing it in the dirt, throwing it over your head. This ain't that. So I already know you know what the fuck you talking about, and you not watching games. If you talk about Jalen Hurts can't throw from the pocket, Jalen Hurts can throw from the pocket. Jalen Hurts can throw on the run. Okay, what Jalen Hurts plays better when he's in a rhythm. And that's when you see him struggle, is when he's holding the ball and these long passes that they set up, and that's when he doesn't play well. The Rams game, I think the weather really affected that team more than people know. I think it affected AJ. We never see AJ drop balls like that. I think it affected Jalen because Saquon was saying when he was running in the snow, he couldn't see. So they probably couldn't, the vision probably wasn't as great as it could have been. People in there slipping and sliding. I think the weather affected them more than we realize. Okay, especially them country boys. They're not used to playing in the snow like that. Now the Eagles, we know we had another famous snow game, but that was a whole different team, whole different players. I don't think them guys was used to playing in that snow like that. Okay, the Washington Redskins, look. All I have to say to y'all, I don't have nothing against the Redskins. Fuck all the NFC East teams. That's real. But I think the hierarchy of hatred as far as the Eagles fans go is Dallas, the Giants, and then the Redskins. Mainly because the Redskins been trashed for so long, it don't really do no point to hate on them. Plus, back in the day when they had Doug Williams, and they've had a lot of black quarterbacks too. So it's not that we don't hate Washington like we do these other teams, right? However, that being said, and I don't know if some of you may be new listeners. When I was in the military, before I went to law school, I was in the Marine Corps, and then I worked in the DC area. So I lived in the DC area for quite a bit, from 90, end up from, I got there in when did I get there? Like right before Y2K. I got to Fort Meade, and I left in 03. So, and then, I left the military in 03, then I left the region to go to law school in 07. So I'm there from late 99 to, no, it's not correct. Late 98 to 2007, I lived in the DMV area. So that means I was around a lot of Redskins fans, okay? And we say Cowboys fans are delusional, and Cowboys fans are delusional, but Washington Redskins fans are uniquely delusional in that, first of all, every single season, and I know the Cowboys do this too, however, the Cowboys delusion is based off of championships they won before Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels was even born, right? And they talk about those championships like they were yesterday. And like they are still that team, and like they are still America's team, and like everybody is still rooting for the Cowboys, and that is just not the case. They're delusional in that way. Redskins fans are delusional in that they think every year they are going to go to the Super Bowl, no matter how trash their team is, no matter how good the rest of the division is. They too are living off of past glory, but it's not so much that they still think they're that team from those days. They just think the team from those days means that they are always competitive, and they've just not been. And so, and another way Washington D.C. fans are delusional is they don't really know football. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. DC fans do not know football, and that's why they think they're going to win the championship every year, because they don't know how to look at their team on the field and see, oh, this team is way better than us. Oh, this team is trash. Oh, we beat this team, but their quarterback was out. Like, they don't know how to. They don't know. They just get excited. They think they're good, and that was on no more of a display than this Washington Redskin, I'm sorry, Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles game, because anybody who watched any football this season should have known that the Washington Commanders were not going to come into the Lincoln Stadium in Philadelphia, PA, and beat the number 2 ranked seeded Philadelphia Eagles in any way. I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is not nice. The boy is nice, but he ain't playing real defense all year. I told y'all the Lions is frauds. I was not at all. I did not bet on that game because I was not at all surprised. I was like, I bet Washington could beat them. They could beat them because their offense, in my opinion, is overrated. Their defense sucks. And I was like, Jaden Daniels might be able to go in there and beat them. I didn't bet on that game because I was like, I'm not betting on the Lions because I'm not confident the Lions going to win. And sure enough. However, the Philadelphia Eagles are a whole different beast. All these people talking shit about us. They've been picking us to lose all season. We not this, we not that. We are a balanced fucking breakfast. There are two. I said this last season, and this is why last season we were so pissed off at that collapse, because this is a team built by Howie Roseman, the best GM in football, who has so many ways to beat you that when we click on all cylinders, we cannot be stopped. And you saw that in the Washington game. There's been other few games this season, but for Saquon dropping that pass and Smitty dropping that pass in the other game, and the Eagles would have been undefeated. We lost 2 games and it was both our fault. We'd have been undefeated. Most teams, if you can stop the run, if you can stop this, you can't do it with us. If you first of all, you got to stop 2 runs. You got to stop Saquon. Good luck. You got to stop Jalen. You got to stop every now. What's the other boy? The other running back we got. He not that great, but he will break a run. Okay, you got to stop the passing game, which is Cal Cetera, Goddard, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. You got to stop our defense, which is the number 1 defense in the league, and we've been telling y'all that all season. And it's like y'all think we playing, y'all think it's fake. Every year, every week, we came up against a team, and we have the lowest scoring numbers against a defense in the league. No teams cannot score against us. I think the most was Washington with that 23. I think that's the most. Most teams I'm talking about high flying teams that come in and be scoring 30, 40. We holding them to 13, 17. 5 turnovers. The defense is number 1 in the league. Jalen Carter is the best defensive lineman in football. They all saying it. And we're just, the only time we lose is if we beat ourselves. The only issue, I fully believe we're going to beat the Chiefs. We almost beat them last time. This is a much better offense. This is a much better defense. We will have to play the refs. I'm hoping that the league has put the word out there. Look, because the fans are starting to complain about these. I feel like the Bills were robbed of that victory. I think that was a 4th down conversion. I think everybody who watched that game saw that was a 4th. That ball, Josh Allen's head and the ball were a good 2/3 over that line. You can see it on TV. Didn't even need a replay. It was clearly over the line. They called it back. And the thing about, I'm not a person that complains about bad calls, because I say bad calls are part of the game, but the thing about the Chiefs calls is these are game-changing calls. Giving the Chiefs back the ball, saying they didn't get a 4th down. They got you stopped on 4th down. They calling a bullshit pass interference, roughing the passer because somebody blew air in Patrick Mahomes' face, and they called it. It's game-changing calls. Almost like it's looking like the refs got money on the game, because people be having the Chiefs stop, and the refs bailed him out. And even the fans are starting to complain about that shit. Like, yo, this motherfucker is clearly looking for calls. He clearly tries to get a pass interference call. The rule, even Aikman said it. If you're going to go down, go down. But if you're not going to go down and you're going to keep yourself as a runner, then the defensive player has a right to hit you. And you can't fake like you're going to go down, have the player stop, to respect that, and then you keep running, because that's what Pat Mahomes does. And then when the player hits him, then you want to call him saying he was giving himself up. No, he wasn't. So it's that type of shit. I think we're going to beat the Chiefs. I think we're a better team than the Chiefs. I think we got too much for the Chiefs. And I'm not selling the Chiefs short at all, but I think their record this year been by the grace of God. It was a lot of close games. And like I said, it was a lot of games given them to them by the refs. And they're a little bit beat up. And I just think we are juggernaut. We got too much for them. That we put 55 on the Washington Commanders, the most ever in a championship game. Look, I don't know what y'all think what's going to happen. Washington fans is a bunch of nerds to me. They are a bunch of nerds. They a bunch of geeks. They be in their football base is. I'm sure there's native Washingtonians from back in the day, but they few and far between, at least that I see. It's a bunch of them Northern Virginia clowns, and y'all just came up to Philly like y'all thought y'all was gonna beat us, and we put 55 on you, and I was not shocked at all. Anybody who we were picked. We were picked at 6.5, and everybody said we were gonna win. Talking about the changing of the guard. I'm not taking nothing away from Jordan Daniels, but you got to be on the powerfulest of drugs. Jalen Hurts already been to a Super Bowl. This is his second Super Bowl appearance in 4 fucking years. You think a rookie is gonna come up and beat this team? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? So that's all I got to say about that. Y'all was killing me with that. Oh, no, the Eagles not going to beat the Reds. I'm sorry, you must not been watching football all fucking season, because what are you talking about? We would have been 2-0 against y'all. The only reason y'all won the second game is because Jalen went out with concussion, because we whooping y'all ass at that too. That was about to be a 55-point game, because we was already up, 14-0, and when Jalen went down, about to score again. Like, come on. y'all gotta be kidding me. So anyway, we're going back to the Super Bowl. I believe we're going to win. I believe Howie's going to keep this team together as much as he can. And I think we got a bright future ahead of us. Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback, and he's in an elite list of quarterbacks who have gotten back to the Super Bowl twice. It's not as easy as you think. Getting to the playoffs is not as easy as you think. Year after year, ask the Niners. Ask the Cowboys, ask the Giants. Next season, we're going to be asking the Redskins, because people figure out, people make adjustments. It's not as easy to get back as you think. You got to be a real good team. And the Eagles don't get as much credit as they should. This is our second Super Bowl in 5 years. We won one, we lost one, now we back again to win another one. Y'all been sleeping on us for a very long time. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. All right. What else? So I guess this is all the kind of same topic, and I said I wasn't gonna be ranting and raving, and I'm not, so I'm trying to figure out where to go first. Let's leave Black History Month for last, because it is the first day of Black History Month, if you don't know. So this is what I want to say. So first of all, Snoop and Nelly, I haven't heard from y'all. Where y'all been at? Because y'all told us we was being haters, and we had to, show us how this man is racist and all that. Well, he been showing us, so where y'all at? Look, Malcolm says celebrities are not going to lead us. They're not going to be the ones to get us through, and he's right. We don't have the kind of celebrities that we used to. We don't have the kind of black people that we used to, period. And we damn sure don't have the same kind of celebrity, because these motherfuckers will do anything for a check. There's no, and maybe they're doing it anonymously. I'm wrong. It don't seem like it, but it's like, there's no sense of, all they care about is themselves. There's no sense of community. Like I said with old girl with Kamala. Look, Kamala shouldn't have had to pay your production costs. I know I'm not a spend somebody else's pocket thing, but I'm like, yo, come donate that. You donate that to her campaign, because she's running a campaign to be the first black woman elected president. Eat that cost. I don't know how much it is. Stream it down. Maybe you don't got to bring the whole show. Just you show up with your microphone, your back. I don't know, whatever you got to do. But eat that cost. Don't add that to Kamala's budget, so now they can complain about all these stuff like that. Aretha Franklin went on a tour. Dr. King said he needed money, he needed donations. She donated to him, but she also went on tour specifically to get money to give to Dr. King. We don't have that no more. We got people getting paid to go perform for this racist Klansman. And then calling us haters because we said, hey, bruh. And Snoop in particular, I don't know. Snoop had decades and decades and decades of goodwill built up, and it's all gone now because you a coon, bruh. You a coon. It's so easy to stay out of Trump's wake. It's so easy to stay out of Trump's wake. Y'all volunteering to be with this man because y'all think that any rich white man, y'all follow them around like dogs in heat because y'all think that shit is going to rub off on you or make you legitimate or lead to your next check. So hope y'all happy. Nelly, wasn't nobody checking for you anyway. But Snoop, I hope you know you squandered with the black community. I don't know, maybe you can still go to the honky tonk probably because you know the nigger they like, but you squandered all your goodwill with the black community because we not all coons out here like y'all. Everybody not willing to just do whatever for a check. Foreign concept, I know, but we are in serious times now, and people are getting serious, and it's like y'all can get out of here with that coon shit. All right. So the other thing I want to say is, and this is an ongoing topic. There's been I mean, we see what Trump is doing. I feel like Trump has already done impeachable stuff. But I say when they refuse to convict him for January 6th and the 6th, the coup was complete. Because if you're not going to convict him for that, you're not going to convict him for anything. And I don't know why they're so afraid of this man. I don't know why they let this man just run wild and do what he wants to do. I'm really not sure. I don't know. This country is run by craven cowards, and that's why we are collapsing because you don't. The framers, Ronald Reagan, fuck him, but even him, Nixon, all of these bad presidents that we had, the difference was none of them would sell the country out to its enemies. None of them would just stand idly by and let Russia and China and North Korea and Saudi Arabia turn us into a dictatorship, an authoritarian bloc. None of them. Like these politicians we have today, like the Democrat, we have to work with Trump. What are you talking about? You don't. And I think that the only way it's going to get fixed, or I don't think it can be fixed, but the only way it can slow this shit down is the younger members of the party, the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, the people, the younger congressmen and Senate people who understand what is going on here and are looking around like, what the fuck are y'all doing? They are going to have to wrest power away from Chuck and Nancy and Corey and all of them. That they're going to have to physically wrest it away because all this wait in line is not your turn. These people are doing PowerPoints about posting to LinkedIn while Elon Musk who is not an elected official, not even a born American citizen, has locked himself up in the OPM office with every federal worker who ever worked for the federal government's public information at his disposal. What the fuck is that? That's not legal. That's not legal for an elected official to do. You're not an elected official. Why is this being allowed? Number one. Number two, these people that keep resigning. You are a coward. Stop resigning. Stop getting out of the way and letting them stomp through. Resist. They cannot legally fire you. Make them fire you so that you can press the issue to the courts. Stop just resigning. Oh, he came in and tried to set the whole White House on fire, so I just resigned. What? Stand in the doorway. We need George Wallace's on our side. Stand in the doorway. You're not fighting back. You're just letting them do what they want to do. You just capitulate. You don't have to vote yes on any of these nominations. How did you vote yes to confirm Pete Hegseth? He's incompetent. Why are you voting yes? Vote no. I don't give a fuck if my no vote can't stop it. If all the Republicans vote for him, he'll be in, fine, but he's not getting my vote. I'm not voting for him to come in. Because when it's a Democratic president, nobody's voting for our people. It's all down the line, but you get 20, 30 Democrats voting. We don't understand. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you voting to confirm this fucking moron? He is not qualified to run the military. I'm more qualified to run the military than he is. Why are you voting to confirm him? Y'all doing all this waving these papers around and doing all these fucking performative ass tweets. And you go in there confirming. People are tired of that shit. That's the shit that that's why you're losing, because of shit like that. Because you don't stand for anything. Either this guy is a threat to democracy, he did all the shit y'all said he did, or he didn't. And you acting like he did it. You acting like it was all bullshit. If you tell me, I'm from Philly, excuse me, I'm not from the hood, but I'm from Philly. But I know that if police come around and they got evidence and they got proof and they got this, that somebody did something, they come around with an arrest warrant and they arrest you. Or they come around with a search warrant. And if they do all that search warrant and that arrest warrant and then we see dude back on the street and it ain't no trial and ain't no nothing, we'll be like, oh, he ain't do that. They was trying to put some shit on him. He didn't do that. Because if he did it, they would have been able to prove it. Them warrants they had, they would have found the evidence. That arrest warrant, they had him down there, they would have found. They just was fishing. They ain't had shit. They trying to get somebody to tell on him. They ain't have him. They had to let him go. They ain't got nothing on me. That's what people think. So if you spending all your time trying to convince people this dude is a crook, this dude is a that, but you ain't got no indictments, you ain't pressing no cases, and this motherfucker just still walking around free, people think you bullshitting. You at his inauguration, how you think this dude is a traitor and a threat to democracy, but you sitting there sniggling and giggling with him at the inauguration? That's the type of shit people see and makes them think y'all full of shit and y'all weak as fuck. And they're right. They're right. People don't, most people ain't on politics 24. I don't watch TV news and cable news. I don't watch that shit. I ain't got time for it. So people just go off what they see. And this man is pulling stunts and you people eat it up hook, line, and sinker. I done told y'all that assassination attempt was fake. You believe it was real, fine. I'm telling you it was not. Nothing about that was real. And this man spends all day, every day talking about people who wronged him and did him wrong. And he ain't talked about that shit since it's happened. This motherfucker, if he really got shot, would be all day, every day talking about how somebody tried to kill. They tried to kill me all day. Miley Cyrus, he be Miley Cyrus. They tried to kill your favorite bitch every single day. If this man really was shot at, we ain't heard about that shit since. Ain't been there an investigation, ain't been there Magruder tape, ain't been there in-depth special, nothing. His voters don't even refer to it that much because they know that shit is bullshit, but they like shit like that. They who that shit is for. So, this plane crash at DCA, not the one that in Philly last night, I'm talking about that one second. This plane crash in DCA. First of all, it's really bothering me because I fly in and out DCA all the time. Washington, D.C., over Washington, D.C. is a very restricted airspace. You cannot just fly in and out of there. If it's any kind of aircraft in that airspace that is unaccounted for, it will be shot down. This is even prior to 9/11, but especially since 9/11. Every aircraft in that airspace has to be accounted for, has to be scheduled, has to be known. You can't just show up over the airspace like it's Topeka, Kansas, right? Every flight has to be clocked. If you live in a DC area or have ever lived in a DC area, you see military choppers, you see Air Force One sometimes, you see these choppers because it's different, but you got Bowling, you got Andrews, you got Fort Detrick. You got a lot. You got the naval base. You got Quantico, which is a little further south, but you still see the Marine one sometimes. You got a lot. You got Annapolis. You got a lot of military bases in that area. So you see military flights. You see military choppers, but you only see them during certain times of the day and on certain flight paths. They are not allowed to fly over DCA because that is a commercial airliner, and they don't enter that airspace, right? There's certain airspace that military can enter, and that military can enter that civilian can't, and a certain airspace that civilian can enter and military can't, and that's how they keep it orderly. So when you tell me that a Black Hawk, a Army Black Hawk chopper is a combat chopper, it is used to transport VIPs, high-level government officials, for that reason, because it is a combat chopper. So if somebody tries to come attack that plane or shoot that plane down, that chopper is able to respond. A Black Hawk will get you the fuck up out of here quickly, okay? It has 2 missiles it can shoot off the side. It has guns on it. It is an awesome, I rode in a Black Hawk before. It is an awesome aircraft. It is an awesome piece of machinery. You be on that shit like, bitch, let's go. A flying fortress in the sky. That's a Black Hawk, okay? A Chinook is similar, but not like a Black Hawk. So when you tell me that a Black Hawk chopper is flying in DCA airspace at 7, 8 at night, it wasn't even super late, I'm already like, what's going on? That's crazy. How does that occur? And then you tell me they run smack dab into a commercial airliner that is landing. Anybody that has ever flown knows when you take off and when you land, the planes come in right behind each other. You're lined up. One takes off. I don't know how far they let it get, then the next one. So there's a line of planes. And I lived like in Philly, like when we were younger, we would go down to the airport, and people do that. Go down the airport, park your car, look up, because you want to see the planes coming over you. And they coming over you. One right behind the other, right behind the other, right behind the other. Everybody knows this. So if you're flying into that path, why are you doing that? Number one. Number two, if you know that you're flying into the oncoming landing pad and you see it's nighttime now, so these planes are lit up. You can see planes at night way better than you can see them in the daytime. So if you know one plane has just passed and you're flying into their landing airspace, which I don't know why you would be, you have to know that there is another plane that's coming right behind it, because that's how they land. So why would you be trying to fly through that? You have to be below where they're coming in, which that close to the airport, I don't really think is advisable, because you'd have to be very low, or you have to be above where those planes are going to be coming in, which also not advisable, because when planes are landing or taking off, that's where their elevation is changing rapidly, right? It's suspicious to me. It's suspicious for a few reasons. I saw the video. There was the Kennedy Center had their camera on top. They caught the crash. If you watch, I've watched that thing over and over, because I do not understand how that happened. It literally is a chopper flying along. They make contact with air traffic control. So, because all these people are like, well, of course it's going to happen. Yes, we know what they did with air traffic control, but the air traffic controller did not miss it. So there being a shortage is not really the issue, because they did pick the chopper up. So they had the chopper, and they told the chopper to let the plane pass. Chopper says, okay, flies right into the plane. If you see it, he doesn't slow down, and it's a chopper. So a chopper, if you don't know the difference, choppers can pull up. They're a little bit more maneuverable than a jetliner, who can't really turn on the dime like that. A chopper can do that, right? Doesn't pause at all, just right into the plane. So I have a few questions. Where is that chopper coming from? Where is it going to? Why is it flying into that airspace? Why didn't you listen to air traffic control? Now they're saying it's a training mission. Training mission where? Where's the rest of the, where were you going? Where was the training mission at? Where's the rest of the mission? I've never heard of a training mission with one fucking chopper. Never. Why are you flying through that airspace? So I Trump team pulls stunts. I found it very suspicious, not just stupid, but suspicious that before they even knew if everybody was okay, before they even knew if they were going to have any survivors, before they even knew anything about this plane, this clown that they just nominated to the head of the army is on TV talking about it's because of DEI. That's suspicious to me. They pull stunts. They staged an assassination. They staged an armed insurrection. They do all kind of shit. These are all things that I recognize because I worked in intel for 7 years as ops. These are the kind of things that we have done in South America, that we do in Eastern Europe, that we do we pull these little stunts, which causes chaos, and then you give a plausible story behind it, like, oh, we were flying weapons down to drug dealers in Colombia because we have a deal worked out where we're giving them weapons, they're giving us drugs, and we're letting them sell their drugs in the United States into the inner cities with no problem, and in exchange we're giving them guns because we want them to fight and defeat the communists in South America. But when our plane crashes, we'll make up some story about how this was some training mission and blah blah. Like, they do these things all the time. So you don't need to be a conspiracy theorist when you look at this track record of this organization, and when you know one of the people that works for Trump is a guy named Michael Flynn, who was kicked out of the army for basically espionage, and the reason that he was caught is because he would suggest these kind of operations. He suggested they're called false flags is what they're called. You stage an incident, you say it's something else, and you can get away with the shit you're trying to do. And Michael Flynn is known for that. And stage assassinations is one of his plays. Staged plane crashes is another one of his plays. If anybody is familiar with Flynn or has been worked in intel, familiar with his case, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look it up. Okay, these Project 2025 people are trying to implement this shit, and they need to make distractions. Am I saying that I think that accident may have been set up? I suspect it. There's a lot of questions need to be. I'm not buying that it was a training. I don't believe that, because there's a lady on TikTok, and I don't believe everything that's on TikTok, and I'm not sure if it's legit. But I saw what she did, and it made some sense, because every you can check the flight path of every, unless it's a black op, you can check the flight path of every aircraft that lands or takes off in the US. If you have the hull number, you can track the flight, and people were able to track. They put in the I think it was the United Airlines plane. They put that number in there to track it, saw where it hit. And this lady put in this chopper and showed that the chopper. We never got a straight answer on where this is why I'm saying, what training mission? We never got a straight answer on where the chopper took off, where it was going. They won't release the pilot's name now. And she showed that they told us that the chopper took off from Langley, but she checked the flight path of the chopper, and the chopper actually took off from a yard of a house in Northern Virginia that's registered, at least how she found on Google. I don't know if she did her search. She used the address from the flight path that showed where the chopper took off. She used that, assuming that's accurate. Like I said, don't know if it is, but it seemed like it was. And the address came up to a house in Northern Virginia that's registered to the embassy of Saudi Arabia. And according to the flight path that she tracked, like I said, I don't know if she did some shenanigans. It's TikTok, you never know. But I mean, she showed her work. And that chopper took off from the yard of that house, which belongs to the embassy of Saudi Arabia. So that is suspicious to me. What Army Black Hawk chopper is taking off from a yard in Northern Virginia that belongs to the Saudi embassy and going on a training mission? It's giving false flag op to me. If it turns out, and we'll never know now because they own all branches of government. That's the other thing. They own the media. They own the Congress. Like, y'all are eating these things up and not questioning anything. And it doesn't make you a conspiracy theorist to question. Yes, it could be incompetence. I don't think that it is, but it could be. But you have to ask the questions, and when you asking obvious questions that anybody would ask, and they're not being answered, they're not even being presented as questions. That's suspicious to me, and I would not. Everything we know about Trump, that Trump has done, that Trump has gotten away with, that Trump has proposed, that Trump is currently doing, why you would just dismiss as a conspiracy theory that this could have been another operation is that's fine. You can do that. But this is very suspicious to me. These people have already shown they don't give a fuck about killing innocent people. That whoever that kid that supposedly shot at him, at the president, I don't know what they told that kid, how they got him there, what they told him he was doing, and what they told him he was going to do. I have no idea. All I know is that kid, according to them, walked to that place, got a ladder, climbed up on that roof, supposedly shot at the president. I don't think he shot at him at all, and now he's dead. We ain't seen his family on the news. We ain't seen him go to his hometown, talk to his all the shit they do if just a random cop gets killed. And this guy supposedly shot at the president. We ain't seen none of that. We ain't seen his family. We ain't seen no interviews at the school, his church. We ain't seen his birth certificate. We ain't heard from his teacher. We ain't heard from the girlfriend that broke up with him. We ain't seen all his pictures going back to like we normally would do. Lee Harvey Oswald, you put his name in there, you're gonna find everything on his whole life. John Hinckley, the guy that shot Reagan, put that, you're gonna find everything on his whole life. Every time that motherfucker come up for parole, they covering it. But this, nothing. We ain't heard nothing. We ain't had no documentaries. We ain't had no step by step, no blow by blow. We ain't had nobody figure out what path he walked. Talk to the people on the way. Well, did you see him walk by with the light? Nothing. 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 That is strange. That never happens. Never. It's and there ain't nobody talking about it. It's all these years later. People still talking about the Kennedy magic bullet, this, that, Daily Plaza, the book repository, all of this shit. It ain't nobody talking about this fake assassination attempt. And like I told y'all, I knew the shit was fake as soon as it happened because I know what an M16 can do. And I know that if an M16 round gets anywhere near your head like that man claims, you're, number one, you get knocked off your feet. And number two, at the very least, the whole side of his face would have been skinned from that round. Some skin would have been snatched off. The more than that little piece of tip of ear, that a sniper could not shoot just the tip of your ear off like that. That's an impossible shot. Okay, I knew it was fake as soon as it happened. I knew it was fake from the sound of the gunshots. Number one, I knew it was fake from his reaction. Number two, I knew it was fake from all the security guards around him's action. Number three, because if you ever seen something like that, you ain't putting your shoes on. You're not even allowed to stand up. They fall on you and they get you the fuck up out of there. And that's it. I knew it was fake. The second it happened, y'all ate the shit up. Whatever. They are pulling stunts and it's just frustrating to watch because everybody just, nobody is using sense, and it's just frustrating to watch. So like I said when I started, it's Black History Month, the first day of Black History Month. Trump is they're such a clowns. So they tell us there's no Black History Month, which y'all don't control Black History Month. We have Black History Month. Y'all just started recognizing it. I don't know when, like around the 80s, but we gonna have it whether y'all recognize it or not. But now last night they reissued a statement saying we are having Black History Month, but they added not Colin Powell. What's the name? Clarence Thomas and these fucking Republican sellouts. They added them. First of all, you don't tell us who we recognize as black people. That's number one. Number two, it's just stupid shit. Another stunt. Just dumb shit. Not surprised though. Like, not surprised at all. What's really irritating me is I want this whole DEI bullshit. Like, I want, when are people gonna like get some sense and respond in a normal way? Stop just repeating DEI, DEI, DEI. Stop repeating that shit. Make them fucking tell you what DEI. If you want to send a order to my office telling me we have to eliminate all programs or programming, whatever, DEI programming, woke programming. The first thing I'm going, first of all, an order. Anybody been in the military, any kind of organization knows this. An order, in order to be valid, needs to be specific enough in what is being requested so that the order can be carried out. So if you want me to carry out an order, the order has to be specific and detailed enough for me to be able to carry it out. Hey, in the Marine Corps, we roll our sleeves up in the warm seasons, and we keep our sleeves down when it's cold. So every year the order goes out. I forgot what dates. I think it varies by base actually when your sleeves can roll up. And some bases, like if you're out west, your sleeves are rolled up all year long, right? But it comes out such and such midnight on April whatever 3rd, 1326, sleeves down, all sleeves be rolled down. Cool, we're gonna roll our sleeves down. Okay, the order has to be specific. If you send me an order talking about get rid of, the first thing I'm gonna say is, well, what is DEI? What do you mean by DEI, and what is woke? What do you want us to do? Because well, we want you to search everything that has DEI. Well, okay, what does that mean? What do you mean has DEI? What are you referring to? Because we've looked all over the cabinets, we looked in the basement, looked up under the rugs. We don't know what a DEI is. What is that? Make them explain to you what it is. Okay, diversity, equity, inclusion, which is what you're arguing with. Basically, you're arguing against including anybody that's not a white male. Make them say that. Stop just capitulating. Make them say. So you're telling us that you want us to close any program that has anything to do with anybody that's not white? Make them say, get this shit in writing. Yes. Okay, so you want us, that's a violation of federal law. You want us to violate federal law? That what you, like, stop capitulating. Woke. What the fuck is woke? We know what woke is. Black people know what. Make them explain to you what is woke. I checked in my drawers, parking lot, sent the janitor down to the basement, asked the kids. Nobody don't see woke. We don't see woke around here. Is that a person thing? What is that? We don't see that. Make them fucking tell you what they're saying. They want black people out. They only want, make them say that shit. Make them say it on camera. Make them say it in the email. Make them say it on record. Stop playing these fucking games. Make them say it. So you want us to go and resegregate. That's what you're saying. Make them say the shit. Nobody's doing that. People just, we have to pull back on DI. So what are we going to do? Does that mean you're going to fire all the black people? What does that mean? What does that mean? Do you even know what that means? You don't. You just running around doing whatever dumb shit they telling you to do and hiding behind the law because you're a fucking coward. And these companies, y'all playing yourselves, you ask me. Not if you ask me, you playing yourself according to statistics. The data has been out there since at least the 90s that show how much money black consumers spend. We drag ourselves, but we broke as fuck. We ain't got but $5 in generational wealth going back to 1700s, but we still spend the most money out of everybody. The data shows that, which is why companies moved to diversity in the first place, because they saw, oh shit, these motherfuckers are putting $8 billion into the economy. We losing money. We gonna have to include them. And that's what the whole thing came from. Like, yo, it's more than just white people that buy shit. And we gotta market to these people. We losing it out. So Target, Walmart, all these stores, y'all playing politics, rolling around, sucking off your man. You're playing yourself. Because I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to shop and spend our money where we don't want to get. You don't want DEI, which we know means nigger. We know means black people. You think you can just, we're just going to roll these initiatives back. Okay, we're going to roll our dollars back. And we're going to be in Costco, and we're going to be in these businesses, and it's a lot of them. I should probably have a list for y'all that are like, no, we're not doing that. We're not getting rid. It doesn't make, there's no business case for it. If you're doing it, you're just playing politics, and we're not fucking our business up like that. And to all you motherfucking nigger naysayers talking about we can't boycott like this and we don't have the community in Montgomery, but listen. The Montgomery bus boycott was in 1955. Business was set up a lot different then. Okay, yes, there was a small town. It took a long time, but after the first day, the hit was felt because they realized it was mainly black people riding these buses. So you're not going to take our money and sit us on these buses and treat us like second-class citizens, and we got to get up just because some white person get on the bus when we the people carrying your whole fucking company. In 2025, you don't necessarily need to do that. It doesn't need to be that long. It doesn't need to be that sustained. These companies go off of quarterly reports now, and these motherfuckers, if they see a significant drop in one quarter, oh bitch, hold the phone. Everything got to change. So stop saying that a boycott can't be successful like it was back then. It's not like it was back then. Nobody thinks they're going to drive Target out of business. Target is a global company. Nobody thinks they're going to draw Walmart out of business. The point is, if you don't want us working for you, you think you gonna call us unqualified and DEI hires and all of this bullshit. You want to basically disrespect us, your biggest customer base, then you're not getting our fucking money. You don't want to hire us, then you don't need our money. Because we're gonna be respected. You're not gonna talk to us like any kind of way. We off that, bro. All that 1955 Klan shit that these people want to take you back to, you're gonna get punched in your face, number one. Y'all tried that shit down in at the boat dock, what was it, last summer, got your ass tore up. And it's gonna continue because we're not playing that shit. Okay? And I'm not spending my money. Now Amazon, that's hard to avoid. It's hard. Okay, but I don't spend as much as I used to with them. I don't spend as much as I used to with Nike, and that's big for me because you look at my sneakers, almost everything is Nike. But when they pulled that shit with the fucking resales, that shit pissed me off. Cause you got us fighting for our lives, trying to get these little drops and up and keep hitting the button and all of this bullshit, and then paying these after sale prices, and meanwhile you restricting supply and sending all the sneakers to your employees, and they the ones that's making money off of us. Y'all pissed everybody off with that. Then y'all tried to tweet through it, been dropping bullshit sneaks, and Nike lost so much fucking money because people stopped fucking with them, start buying New Balance, start buying Adidas, start buying these other brands that's like, look, nigga, we fuck y'all. Y'all played in our face one too many times, fuck y'all. They fired their whole CEO, apologized, and now they doing a revamp. So stop saying that boycotts can't work in the modern day. They do work, and they have worked. Maybe you ain't been paying attention to them, but they have worked. Target not even 3 weeks ago had an article out saying that they're gonna, well, turns out they decided they're gonna give people a code, but that shit, locking this shit up in the store, when you go in the store it looks like you in a jail commissary because everything locked up. When I see that, I don't buy that shit. I don't have time for that. I'm not ringing no bell, wait for you to come open my shit. I don't buy in stores like that. And I'm not the only one. And they said that it knocked their profits off, so they have to adjust. And that wasn't even a boycott. That wasn't even people calling. People just stopped spending their money, and it made them change their behavior because they wasn't seeing the money. Like, what the fuck? Turns out people don't want to buy shit when it's locked up in cages. Who knew? So stop saying the shit can't work. It can. What you're really trying to do is justify because you want to keep spending your money in there because some influencer who you want to be like is on the camera with all this shit, with people trying to fucking fight for their rights and stop this country from going back, and your first concern is your brand and Target and your check. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. That's what I'm talking about. They don't make black people like they used to. And that lady is a weirdo to me anyway. I ain't never seen it. She talks like she's an occult to me. I never seen the appeal. It's all look fake and phony to me. But whatever. But and you got people defending her down, and I don't gotta understand shit. I don't give a fuck about your brand. I don't give a fuck about Target. I don't give a fuck about you retiring your husband. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You're not gonna call me a nigger and take my money. You're not gonna do this shit that these people are doing and trying to go back to segregation and calling us unqualified. Like I said before, you can't make me feel no kind of way. But I realize a lot of y'all wasn't raised in homes where black history and culture was celebrated. Matter of fact, I was watching Eyes on the Prize, and this man said something, and I was like that. I had not seen Eyes on the Prize since middle school, and I got to rewatch it because I realized how many gems there are in there. But he said it was this older man, and they had footage of it was back to Montgomery bus boycott, and he was an older man. Everybody looked 85 back then, so you can't really judge. But he had a little gray, little salt pepper in his hair, so he probably maybe was about 50 something. And he was saying how it was hard, it was hard. He basically was like, if you live in a society where you're always on the bottom and they have everything, they have all the money, they have all the power, they do what they want to do, they tell us what we could do anything with our lives, you'll start to think that, hey, you'll start to believe that they are inferior, they are superior. That God gave them the power, God gave them the money. We know God didn't give them nothing, they stole it. But I'm saying, he said that, he was like, and it's a lot of people that is ingrained in them. They truly feel inferior, and they feel that this is the way that society should be. He was talking about how hard it was to try to get people to overcome that fear, to go ahead and step out and be like, yo, y'all, we can't, the rest of our lives can't be like this. We fought in every war, we did everything we have to do, we gonna be equal, or all this shit gonna burn. But he said that, and it stuck with him. I'm like, yes, that is it exactly. There are so many black people, and I try to say this all the time. They believe in white supremacy as much as white people believe in white supremacy. And that's why we have been spinning our wheels for so long, because it is never hard to find some nigga that'll be on their side. The Candace Owens, the Kanyes, the Snoops, the Nellies. It's never hard to find a black person that will push their agenda, because deep down they feel that that white man is superior also. And you see it, and when I don't want to see slave movies, and I don't want, that's shame. Y'all ashamed of being black. Basically, y'all ashamed of being black. You don't know your history. Your view of yourself is the same view that the white man, that you're nothing, you're dumb, you're a savage. We found you swinging. That's what y'all believe, and that's why y'all look up to the white man so much and think he's so smart and so genius, because he has everything. He has it because he stole it from you, dummy. He didn't have shit. Them motherfuckers was in the caves of Europe. We had everything. We're the ones that had everything. We're the ones that had the library, the civilization. Africa. That's why they went there. We're the ones that had everything, not them. They didn't have shit. But you don't know that, because you weren't raised in the house to teach you your history. And so we're at a point now where they're trying to listen. And people are like, well, I don't understand why y'all so calm. It's not that we're calm. It's just that black people, this is all we have. We have been in this situation in this country, maybe not us specifically, but our people and our ancestors more than we have not. It's only been, 50 something years of non-segregation, that people actually having rights and getting higher. It's only been, most of our history has been this. And so it's like, it is what it is. We have done everything that we could do thus far. We voted how we vote, and we boycott. We're doing what we can, but like, just to be in a constant state of anxiety, it doesn't solve anything. We are doing what we can. We keep telling y'all these politicians are not coming to save us. We have to push them. You guys think that these politicians are supposed to make your life better. And if they don't, you don't want to vote. You know what it is. In Yellowstone, that's not how it works. You put them in the office, and then you push them. And if they don't do what you want them to do, you put the next person in office, and you push them, and you make your voice heard, and you make it known, hey, we don't agree with this shit y'all doing. I'm going to tell y'all, I guarantee y'all about to see a lot of these establishment Democrats get primary. Because people tired of their shit. People tired of the kneeling and the tweeting and all this performative bullshit where y'all standing around watching these people tear our country apart and sell it for parts. And sell us out to our enemies. People tired of that shit. And so, like, Kamala said, we not going back. Y'all wanted to vote like dumbasses again, but we not going back. So they can pull these little shenanigans and everything. Most of it is illegal. The Supreme Court, I don't know what's going to happen, but I tell you what, if they think they about to put black people back into segregated days, you got another thing coming. Okay, society is just too integrated now. You got all these mixed couples. Society is just too integrated now. No, it's just not gonna happen. And I'm telling you, if the Democrats don't get their shit together, the next people climbing them Capitol walls is gonna be all the rest of us to drag y'all out of your offices, and that's gonna be a sight. That's gonna be a sight. And I see it coming. If y'all keep on Chuck and Nancy and Cory Booker and all this old fucking dumb shit y'all are doing, it's gonna get real scary hours for y'all. I predict. Um, so like, just I mean, I don't have anything for these people who want to doom scroll. I'm not giving them that. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. If you ever been in a combat, or I don't know, it doesn't have to be combat. I don't know, some situation. I mean, maybe you was facing a hurricane. Maybe you was some situation where it is not in your control what happens. It is only in your control what you can do. Then you understand that people, you know, look, whatever's gonna come is gonna come, and we're gonna have to deal with it at that time. But to sit in constant anxiety is not getting you anywhere. It's not solving anything, and it's wasted fucking energy. And so, you people that want to keep retweeting Trump said this, Trump said that every 5 minutes, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear what he says. I know it's something dumb, and I know it's something ignorant, and I'm just waiting for the motherfucker to die. I'll be real with you, because I personally think once he dies, all this shit falls apart, because I think it's a cult of personality, and I don't think JD Vance and all these other people are going to be able to carry it at all. Number one, they're dumb as fuck. Number two, they're incompetent as fuck. And number three, Trump is the glue that holds it all together. They need Trump, because none of them would be able to do it on their own. Trump is the cult celebrity guy that all these people like. That shit is not gonna. It's like when Michael Jackson died. Tito don't get the be the head Jackson now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jackie don't get to be the head Jackson now. It's Michael. And when Michael died, it all died with it. So, and I'm not saying, I mean, the legacy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, you know, it's Michael. He was the pull. He was the draw. Trump is the pull. Trump is who they like. Trump is the one that they are voting for. All these other people that he pulls along, he just pulls along. I don't see this. Oh, Vance is who they really want there. I don't see Vance. I don't see Vance holding it at all. I really don't. I think he's a creep. I think people know he's full of shit. I think that movie he made was ridiculous. I think people I just don't think he has the charisma at all. I don't care how much plastic surgery he gets. I don't think he's fooling anybody. And it's not gonna work anyway, because he got an Indian wife, and these racist ass people gonna treat him just like they did Vivek, whatever the fuck his name is. They gonna run her fucking uh not white ass right up out of here. Ain't no way in the world. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. I want y'all to stand up, have pride, stop listening to these people telling you what you listen. If you don't want to participate in the boycott, you think you want to do it, but we just shut the fuck up about it. Like, we tired of y'all trying to like rationalize the fact that you just really want to just fucking go to Target because you feel like, oh, she got a deal, I might could get a deal, and it's dumb, because the whole point of it is Target is telling you they don't want you. So she can get on camera and say what the fuck she wants to say. At the end of the day, Target's gonna cut your contract and throw your nigger wares into the streets, ma'am. That's what's going over your head. You don't need to be talking to us. You need to be talking to Target, because Target just told you they don't want your shit. They don't want your nigger business. Get gone, gal. So this is what's killing me. Y'all running to us talking about what we need to do when Target already told you what they about to do. So, whatever. Um, that's enough for today. Go Birds. We about to win the Super Bowl. I mean, if we don't, we don't. But we'll be. I think we'll be a contender for a very long time. But I'm very, very confident. I was confident last time that we could beat them, and we almost did, but this is a different team, and nobody's selling Kansas City short, but they talking about the last time they played us. The last time they played us, it was very fucking close. We was about to beat them, if not for the ref, and this time we have a much better offense and a much better defense, and I don't think they're as good as they were back then, but we're going to see. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds. If we win, just know, y'all going to be sick of me, especially Cowboys fans. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for asking. Sorry for the delay, but I'm back. Here's this week's episode. I think it's episode 360. I don't know if I said that or not, but episode 360. I appreciate y'all's patience. I appreciate y'all listening. I appreciate y'all hitting me up, telling me I'm your favorite and all that. Thank you. I appreciate it a whole lot. Um, and I would say see y'all next. I'm gonna try to see y'all next week. Might be the week after that. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. Peace.